I'm Caz Parker for MMH, the home of rock radio, with guitarist Adam Mackie from the Dust Coda. Hi.
Hello, Caz. How are you doing?
Welcome. I'm good, thank you. Are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Glad to have you. So today we're talking about something very exciting. The main thing we're going to talk about is the release of new single and video Limbo Man. And so I believe, to lead into that, I believe you released an acoustic EP earlier this year called Early Days, Raw and Unplugged. So you've obviously been working hard during lockdown because as well as that, you've just signed the fabulous independent label Earache Records. And to coincide with that news, not only have you released the new single, which was released on the 20th of November, which, by the way, people, what does that mean? That means go and buy it now because it is available.
Indeed.
But also, there's an album coming soon as well, and that is Mojo Skyline, but we are not getting that until March 2021. So something to look forward to, but you can pre-order it. I've seen that. So first of all, tell me how excited you are about signing to Earache Records and what that means to you guys.
The short answer, incredibly excited. It's phenomenal. It's amazing news. For us as a band and me personally, it's just all the stuff you want when you start. You find a label who expresses an interest of a high enough caliber like Earache with a great foundation, history, etc. You can't ignore it, and you go through the process and you sign a record deal, which is everything you kind of want, right? So that's amazing. And kind of to your point earlier about being busy and stuff, it's just an interesting year all round, right? Because we done this in the background whilst navigating, the global pandemic that is COVID and how that impacts all our lives and whatnot that we all know about. But the long and short of it, it's bonkers news because, we are a four-piece rock band from London that started many years ago. We're very proud of what we do, and this is, a big step up and the beginning of the next chapter for us. So we're pumped. We're thrilled. We're very excited. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is absolutely awesome. And it sounds like they're excited for you as well, because I'm going to quote, but what they've said is, we can't wait for these front runners in the new wave of classic rock. We can't wait to work with these front runners in the new wave of classic rock and turn heads with Mojo Skyline, which we're certain will become renowned as a modern rock classic. So that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
What you want to hear, isn't it? And I read that you guys say it contains half a decade's worth of the band's raw soul and innermost demons. So, holy moly, what to expect from that?
The opening track called Demon there's a repetitive use of that word, right? So the kind of background, if you like, is so we made this album. We finished making it rather end of last year, so summer. So I think August, September last year, we had the final mixes through, and some of it mastered. And we started the recording process beginning of last year, so around February. So the good thing is, pre-COVID, we'd made our second album. So we weren't impacted in terms of creative, pre-production, production, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we first met Earache properly because we were part of a compilation album which they did called A New Wave of Rock and Roll, which they released at the beginning of this year. And we did the launch show with them at Islington Academy in London. And long and short of it, that's when they saw us and went, hello. And went, oh, hi. And they liked what they heard, and we started chatting more and more. I think we were one of the lucky ones because we had a product ready. So it's like, cool, you know about us. Here's what no one's heard. Here's our second album. What do you think? They heard it. And the quotes you just read out about modern classic and all that stuff, they really like it and they got behind it. And that's everything you want as a band because they've shown the enthusiasm and love. They know it and, they really want to work on it. So timing-wise, it's just really worked, quite frankly, with everything that's going on. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, and it's for you guys, I guess, it is really tough times. So it just must be lovely to have some really good news stories coming through for you. Because a lot of bands, are struggling with the good news thing, trying to write and trying to do stuff. So yeah, it must feel great, and you should enjoy it.
It's big time. I kept saying to the guys, we said we're very lucky because we've had this news to kind of plan and dine out on, and if anything, the hardest bit has been sitting on it and keep it secret for so long.
Yeah.
But I think with all our peers and all the bands we love, and that the ones that we see on circuit or bigger ones, we're lucky because we haven't had to cancel anything.
Yeah.
Bands we know have had to cancel stuff, and that's not only cancelling stuff that they love and they enjoy doing, the passion, but it's revenue and income, right?
Yeah, sure.
So whereas we've been quietly sat there going, oh well, we're negotiating a record deal, so we're very lucky, which is just awesome and bonkers in these times. And it's interesting because someone asks, we get this question asked a lot. What's it like in lockdown? And we're like, well, actually, now the cat's out of the bag. It's been pretty awesome, to be quite honest. Now it's announced. Now we're like, right, I want to do band stuff again.
Yeah.
People, when can we? Because this album's going to be out. When can we gig it? When can we tour it? When can we promote it? When can we do all that stuff? So I would say now is the first time that I'm now like, right, I want to start playing the guitar really loud again.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
Something to back it with.
Well, hopefully not too long, but yeah, I feel your pain. I think as a fan, I know a lot of musicians, but as a fan, it's exactly as painful for us that we can't go out and watch and support bands because, you know what, no matter what you do in the virtual world, it's not the same. It just isn't. It's lovely that everybody's trying and I'm getting on board with as much as I can, but it's definitely not the same. I think we're all craving it. So hopefully next year we'll have a lot more to look forward to. We can only live in hope, can't we? But so let's talk about the single and the video. And actually, I wanted to talk about the video first because I want to know if you guys just wanted an excuse to drive classic Mustangs around a racetrack.
Yes.
Of course.
It did. The great
racetrack, was it? It was Dunsfold Park, the home of Top Gear. So not just any racetrack.
Oh, so it's even cooler because so the places where they film all the outdoor scenes for Top Gear, so when they're ragging around these fancy sports cars, that's where they do it. And it's aerodrome. So it's half racetrack, but mainly it revolves around the disused runway. But it's still in emergencies, it's like we've got a plane coming in, everyone leg it, they have to, and all that stuff. There's a big runway and then this road network around it. We had our little corner for filming, which was awesome. It's really big. You can't see in the horizon. But Top Gear were filming, but you could hear these cars so loud, but you couldn't see them. Wow. And then one corner, Warner Brothers were filming, and there were all these signs saying no entry, Warner Brothers only, Warner Brothers studio. And it's where they were filming the new Batman film.
Oh,
so
my God.
No, it's really cool because they basically had a mock-up of Gotham City Road, which was just bonkers. So we couldn't see anything because it was all very cordoned off, but you could get close enough that they had this fake American highway and road signs saying Gotham, second turning or something. So it was pretty cool in that sense because you've got Top Gear, these supercars. You've got, Batman's having a kit before he goes out and drives around on set. And there's us, driving around in our Mustangs. So it was great. Great location, great fun.
That is pretty damn cool, I have to say. Well done. Good idea.
Thanks.
So in my quest for meaning, I did a Google search, and apparently the Limbo Man, wait till you hear this, and this might actually be correct, but the Limbo Man is a hostile male spirit in the PlayStation game Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. And it's also a novel by Blair Bancroft about an FBI agent and a Russian mystery man. And because I never get it right when I try to guess the meaning behind a song, I'm just going to say, just tell me and the viewers what it's all about.
Firstly, thanks, because I don't think any of us have Googled it, so that's good to know. I can honestly reveal that they are not the background or meaning behind this song.
I thought I've either looked out here and found out something really clever, or just completely got it wrong.
No, fair play. So Limbo Man is about a time in one's life as as a young man, where you're basically, you're hopping between venomous and poisonous relationships, one to the other, and you're kind of a glutton for punishment.
Right.
And you're in limbo, and you come out of it the other end, but you're actually only stronger, but you've still got this memory of it, so you're a bit fired up and passionate about all the things and lessons you learned about yourself looking back, but you're also unforgiving about being in that state of limbo and being able to just hop between one place to the other and hold your head high and put the horns in the air, etc.
Okay, well that's always good to know, because I couldn't have guessed that.
Are you saying it doesn't come across strongly?
Well, I listened several times, but it's just, you know what? It's the same with a lot of bands, and sometimes I think, right, I've nailed it, I know exactly what it's about, but it's not always that obvious, to be fair, because if the lyrics are reasonably clever, it's not as obvious as you think to everybody, to be honest. So when I listen back after hearing that, it'll probably jump out and I'll go, oh yeah, I get it now. But yeah, unless it's completely cheesy and totally spoon-fed, which is usually Broken Heart or I'm in Love.
Yeah.
Apart from that, if there's any depth to a song, you kind of have to ask the question to find out, really, because it means different things. And I guess I did an interview with a band that said, well, that's kind of the cool thing about music. It does mean different things to different people. You hear different stuff in it and it'll resonate in a different way for everybody, which is the great thing about music. But sometimes it's nice to know what was actually intended as well, I think, personally.
No, fair point.
Yeah.
I completely 100% agree with what you say. What people take away from it, as long as they enjoy it, that's all you can ask for, right?
That's it. And it's certainly a very upbeat and pacey tune as well. So regardless, it's catchy, it's upbeat, it's all of those things too. So it's just a great track to listen to, whether you listen intently and go, I need to analyse the lyrics or not. It's a good one, and I think it'll do well for you. I noticed that it's up for Track of the Week in Classic Rock Magazine this week.
It is. It's up as we speak. So, if this gets aired in time, please go on loudersound.com. I think that's what it's called.
I was going to say exactly the same. There is a link on your Facebook page as well. So if anybody has any doubt how to find it, just pop on there. It's one of the last things you posted. So let's help you get there, because that'll be some kudos. And I looked at the others we're up against and I was like, we can do this. Let's try.
Usually I'd be 100% behind you, but God bless him, the Van Halen tribute song from his son, that's going to take some beat.
God.
Yeah. That's going to be. And you know what? I'll let him have it. There's very few times I'd say that, but I think, it's going to be pretty popular. But we're chuffed to the bits with the response we've got so far. So, any vote to be excellent.
Yeah, and it's nice publicity anyway, isn't it? And also I noticed it's already on playlists on Spotify. It's been added to the Hard Rock and the Hot Road Trip playlists as well. So that's all good. And I did a little picking around, because I always like to find some, because it's so newly out, there's not loads of reviews done yet for the single, but I did get a few fan quotes from your social media. So shout out, you might know these people. Brett Aaron White says, awesome song, lads. Andy Whitehead says, top tune and stangs to boot. Brilliant. He's watched the video as well. And Tony Delay, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he says, liking the single a lot. And of course, a lot of people are commenting because they know that there's a pre-order, and that, I noticed a lot of comments saying they were pre-ordering the album as well. So, hence there's only short references to the single, because they know it's the forerunner to the album. So, and I'm going to add to that and just say, I think it's a good old hard rocking, bluesy edged, ballsy, catchy number, and I'm looking forward to hearing the album as well. So, yeah. Any other thoughts from you to add about the single?
No, we're just chuffed to bits to get it out. Like you say, it's a bit kind of floor to the floor. Digby, the label owner, he kind of picked it out and straight away. Again, going back to some of your earlier questions about working with Earache, this whole process of fresh eyes and fresh ears is very new to us, because we were like, no, what about that song? But they were like, no, this song's like, okay, cool, why not? But it's good to launch this with a bang, basically. And I think like Limbo Man, it's not a shy song. You don't hide behind it. It's like, we're a rock band. This is what we do. And the response has been great. and look forward to hearing more comments from everyone.
Yes, absolutely. So go and buy it, people. Go and get the single now and pre-order the album, please. That would be great. Sure, the band will appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So, and you mentioned touring, and you said you're gagging to get back out there. Have you started making any plans, or are you waiting to see what happens?
So yes, nothing can announce, but to give you an idea of the landscape, I heard about one festival slot yesterday, and it'll be February 2022.
Okay.
So that's a long way away.
We'll start what that might be. What festivals are on around about then?
Well, exactly. There's only a handful of those good indoor rock festivals, right? That gives you an idea of what booking at the moment looks like.
Yeah.
But the good thing is we're definitely seeing more movement since the announcement of the vaccine.
Yeah.
So it's like entertaining the idea now, which is great, and so are bookings. What's going to be more interesting for us is all those lineups in the festivals that were cancelled. A lot of them are saying, right, well, we'll put on the same lineup again when we're back.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing for us is, well, what does that mean? Do we get shuffled back another year? Because we need to find our way in these, right? So it's going to be an interesting 6 months to see how they juggle everything. Because obviously, Steelhouse, what's it called? Download, and the other big festival. They're announcing acts now, right? And a lot of them are honouring the agreements from this year, and rightly so.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one, but the good news is there's movement again, and that's all we want, right? And we'll find a way somehow. And
to be fair, a lot can change because some of these contain European and American acts, and they may not be able to get over here. We don't know.
There's so much I don't know yet, right? And you're right, but it's great they're going to happen. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed they do, because I think, like I say, as a fan as well, we're all desperate to get back to it. Because it's torture for everybody. It's torture for you guys. It's torture for all of us. So fingers crossed. And like you say, I know you've done some of the festivals before. So again, that's a good start, though, to getting back into them. So you never know. And with the album and everything, I think things will change. And I think you might find your way back onto some schedules and it'll be all right. So back onto COVID. Well, talking about COVID, because we can't get away from talking about goddamn COVID and the lockdown situations and all of that. And I thought, I always like to ask people, is there anything that you did? I know you've been busy. I know you've been, the album was done before, actually, so that might mean this question has an answer to it. But is there anything that you did during this period that you've never done before? Any weird new hobbies, or any just normal new hobbies, or anything like that?
So my birthday was in lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
It was and I like dumplings. So I looked up, how do you make dumplings? So specifically dim sum.
Yeah.
And I was like, no chance. I don't have that in the locker. I'm just going to get it wrong. And then it's going to be really sad. I'll be upset because I love them. And then I might not anymore. Then I stumbled across Russian dumplings.
Right.
And I found this wonderful old Russian woman on YouTube who talked me through it. And I was like, I can do that. Got it. Bang. And they're basically like fat tortellini. So it's quite easy. And they're quite indulgent. And my birthday, and I was making Russian. So I was like, all right, I don't drink vodka, but I feel like I should. So I bought a fancy bottle of vodka. And what I mean by fancy is then spent a bit of money on it. Didn't just buy Smirnoff from behind the counter at the local shop type. And long and short of it, good vodka's great, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure I've ever had crazy good vodka. I probably should have.
Froze it, and by midday I was like, why not? When in Rome, kind of half thinking I'd wince when I did it, type thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's delicious. This is a bit dangerous. So I think one of the things I discovered during lockdown that good vodka's it's great.
So dumplings, dim sums, and good vodka. Okay, that's a good.
Yeah. Had a great time.
That absolutely. And do you know what? If there was ever a time to try out new alcohol, not having to get up for work or whatever, depends on your job, obviously, but that was a good time to do it. So yeah, for sure. So what about, have you been listening to any music that you haven't written Any recommendations for anyone? Anything new that turned up for you during lockdown?
Yeah, definitely. So it's interesting. We're part of a swell of new music starting to come out again, which is a big thing because we forget there's probably about a 6-month period when there wasn't. So, the Pretty Reckless have released stuff, Tyler Bryant and Shakedown.
Yeah.
Obviously, then bigger, Foos have done a single and part of the same kind of campaign window as us. But I personally, I revisited a lot of the old kind of 70s stuff. And I like buying my vinyl and my records. So
me too.
Kind of shops opened again because I used to work near Soho, and Soho in London's got a great record store kind of scene. There's about 4 or 5 in very close proximity, and they're all independent. And obviously we're all worried about certain parts of retail, right? So as soon as I could, I was just wanting to buy stuff and put cash over the counter. And we had National Record Store Day as well. But I got this great live Hawkwind album for next to nothing. And I was like, I need to listen to that because I know they're good and there's history there. But things like Fogheart, some early Clapton, things like that. So I just got back into my 70s kind of rock inspired vinyl in a big way, which I've really enjoyed. And obviously now enjoying, excuse me, some of the new music that's coming out slowly from other bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, plenty.
Good. I know it is. It's a good time to do it. So, all right then, some random questions to chuck at you.
Go for it.
If there was going to be a film of your life, who would play you?
Who would play me?
Yeah.
I would say Jack Nicholson.
Oh, good choice.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So yeah, good choice.
I'd be happy with Jack.
Yeah, definitely. All right then. So again, I'm going to ask more random questions just to spice it up a bit. So, what superhero power would you love to possess and why?
Superheroes. Flying, because it's blatantly well fun.
Yeah. You know what? I
wouldn't rescue people. I'd just fly.
Fly, yeah, and it would save air travel and all that. You could just pop over and see someone because it's got to be like Superman style, yeah. So you can go fast around the world when you want.
All that stuff. I'd have a great time.
Yeah, I did actually. Do you know what? Yesterday I was texting somebody and I was like, if I found a genie in a bottle and that was one of my things, it would be a magic porridge pot of money that would never end, and the power of flight. So I think that's quite it's a good one. I support that, definitely. All right then. Is there anything you've missed the most then? I was going to say you're stranded in your house in lockdown. What are you missing most?
As I mentioned earlier, I'd say only in the past month and a bit, couple of months, I've been missing doing band stuff.
Yeah.
But that is, we've been busy doing the other side of it with laptops and social, but
yeah.
Turning my amp up really loud and, doing the guitar stuff and the band stuff. So that's a big thing. Like a lot of people, proper exercise. I love my sport. I love keeping fit. That's my swimming. So when the pools are open, it's great. When they're not, it's a bit, can't swim here, can I? Just all the human stuff, bars, restaurants, gigs. I think the good thing about musicians is most of us we're quite good on our own anyway, because without knowing it, you've spent a lot of time on your own. Because as a kid practicing or a teenager in your bedroom, you're just playing away. And I, like most musicians, I could kill 2-3 hours on my own and be happy as Larry with my instrument. So I think musicians are quite cool like that, but no one would have planned for this, so you just miss all the social stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to have balance, isn't it? I think you're right. It was nice to chill out for a little bit and not have quite such a manic life, because I was going to a lot of gigs and stuff, and I get FOMO, so if it's not happening, I've not got the FOMO. I was like, okay, try and chill out. But the human interaction, when you do finally get to do it, you realise how much you've missed it. It's it's astonishing, really. So no, that's a good one. All right then. A few more random questions then. These are would you rathers. Would you rather have the keys to the General Lee or Knight Rider's kit?
Say that again. Keys to
General Lee or Knight Rider's kit?
Knight Rider.
And why? Because it's cool.
Because it's cool. I've got fonder memories. I remember just digging it. I went to Universal Studios as a kid. I sat in it, and yeah, I vaguely remember. And I never. I sat in it and said stuff, and all he used to, it was just a very long time ago. There were automated messages on repeat, so you could ask it anything that said the same thing. And then I forget, you say, Michael's gone to the rendezvous, and I was so young. I was like, what the hell's a rendezvous?
Yeah, you would know what that is as a kid.
This class so clever. But yeah, Knight Rider all day.
Yeah, any day of the week. All right, cool.
And the theme song's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, I won't sing it because that'll spoil this for everybody. So, all right then. Do I go really random on you and ask some of these really weird questions? I don't know.
Do it.
All right then. I'll start you off gently. Would you rather cry every time you have sex or burp every time someone kisses you?
I'm quite good at hiding burps, but not when kissing. Crying during it's got to be burps, isn't it?
It's got to be, hasn't it? Really, because it would ruin the moment otherwise. I think. Not maybe it's going to ruin the moment either way, but that's the whole point of would you rather's. They're meant to be uncomfortable.
I'll take that.
All right, then this one's even worse. Would you rather have vaginas for ears or penises for arms?
Vaginas for ears or penises for arms?
You think that one through?
So I'm thinking of this a different way. If I've got, can I still hear through the vaginas?
I guess so, yeah.
I'd have to take the vaginas because I can't.
Muffly.
Play guitar with penis arms.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I can hear through the vaginas, then I'll go for the vaginas.
Yeah, right. Plus, you could grow your hair and sort of disguise them a bit, perhaps.
No one likes a hairy vagina, Caz.
No, that's true. That is true. 100%.
Or back and sides.
Yeah. So, okay, last one then. Weirdest question you'll ever be asked. Would you rather have a 12-inch belly button that sways to the music or accordions for legs? I love how much thought you put into this as well. This is great.
Yeah, because like a 12-inch belly button, right? So it can only be the width of the belly button.
Yeah, it would be long and weird, like a pinky finger.
I'm trying to think you could kind of wrap it up and tuck it away, tie a knot in it and hide it.
Though, as soon as there's music, it's swaying. It's out there.
Right. I'd go that. I think the belly button, because you know what? I could market that.
Yeah.
It's his belly button as he plays again. Accordion.
Yeah.
No, he's just, he's fallen over, weirdo.
Yes.
Whereas I think I could sell the belly button thing, so I'm going with the belly button.
You put a little hat on it or something, couldn't you? And
all that stuff. Make it useful. It could hold something. I don't know.
For sure. On that note, that's about as many really weird questions as I have. So, final question then, just to wrap things up. It seems everything's going super well for you guys right now. So, what would be the dream achievement for the band?
You know what I was thinking. I said to one of your colleagues, and for the life of me, I can't remember what they're called, but we met MMH at Rambling Man 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Doing an interview with them and some other people in the press team.
It was probably Skid, to be fair.
Say again?
There was a guy called Skid. He and I were doing the interview, so it might have been Skid.
Okay, cool. Probably Skid. And I remember saying to him, in 3 years, I want the Dust Coda to be the biggest rock band in the UK. And in 5 years, I want us to be one of the biggest rock bands in the world.
Yeah.
I'm about a year behind, but I can claim that because of COVID, like everyone else. Yeah. But this album on this label is one hell of a big step towards it. And I'm incredibly excited about its release and all the rock fans in the UK hearing it and really saying, wow, like just wow. This, rock and roll is banging. It's amazing. And albums like this and this band will make that happen. And from that platform, moving on to the next stage. So incredibly ambitious, but very proud at the same time because I believe in it, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And absolutely, you've got to dream big because why would you not? You've got to have goals.
Completely.
So, yeah. So thank you so much, Adam. It's been awesome catching up with you, and thanks for watching. I am Caz Parker for MMH, the home of rock radio, with Adam Mackie from the Dust Coda. So I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Go out and buy the single now, pre-order the album. The band will love you for it, and hopefully we'll see you on the road again in 2021. Hopefully it won't take till 2022. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.